Hello everyone, welcome to today's our online class. Today we are going to learn a new chapter, Expert Detectives. This is sixth chapter from our textbook Honeycomb. So Nishad, a boy of 7, so also called 7 because his name means the seventh note on the musical scale. So name of the boy is Nishad. So he was also known as 7. Everyone calls him 7 because this the sound in ni is the seventh letter of the musical scale. You know that one. Sa, ri, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. Ni is the seventh one. And his 10-year-old sister Maya are very curious about one Mr. Nath. So both of them, Nishad and Maya, they both are very curious about one Mr. Nath. Then one day the children's marble rolls into Mr. Nath's room and Nishad gets a chance to see him. So one day when they are playing marble, the marble rolls into Mr. Nath's room and Nishad gets a chance to see him. Is he crook on the run? Crook on the run means a criminal who escaped from police. Crook on the run, a criminal who escaped from the police. So he has a doubt. Is he a crook on the run? Is he a criminal who escaped from the police? Why is his face badly scarred? Scarred means wound marks, covered with wound marks. Scar. Why has he no friends? Why he has no friends? Nisha's mother, a doctor, knows Mr. Nath as a patient who is very polite. So Nisha's mother is a doctor, so she knows Mr. Nath as a patient. He's a very polite man. So let's check what is there in that expert detective. Part 1. As he walked back towards the clinic, 7 said, "He doesn't look anything like a monster, Maya. But did you see how thin he is? Maybe he is very poor and can't afford to eat." Afford to eat means can't produce money to eat. That means earning anything. He can't be poor if he is a crook on the run. Crook on the run. That means a person, a criminal who escaped from the police. I told him he's probably got millions of rupees stashed away somewhere in that room. Stashed away means hidden away. Hidden away. So Maya and Nisha, they were talking each other. Nisha said he's not looking like a monster, but he's looking like a poor man. Then Maya said no, he may not be poor. If he is a criminal, he may have a lot of money hidden in somewhere in his room. Do you really think he is a criminal, Maya? He doesn't look like one. Nishad looked doubtful. Of course he is 1-7, I said, and he certainly isn't starving. Starving means a shortage of food. Mr. Mehta told us that Ramesh brings his meals up from the restaurant downstairs. So here we learned 3 characters. Mr. Nath, Maya and 7. Maya and 7 they are discussing. Maya has a doubt about Mr. Nath is a criminal. But here Nishad is not having same doubt. He is having some other doubts that he is not a criminal, he is a poor man. Then Maya is saying about that Mr. Mehta, another character, told that Ramesh, another character, Ramesh brings his meals up from the restaurant downstairs. So that means he is not a poor man. He is not starving. He is not having shortage of food because he is getting food from the restaurant downstairs. So here these 2 kids have a doubt about the man, those who is living near to their home, and they are having they're trying to investigate about that person. Who is that person? What is he doing? Everything they want to find out. So let's check what happens next. But Maya, Mr. Mehta told us he doesn't work anywhere. So how can he possibly have money to pay for food? Nisha said. Yes, Mehta said he is not working anywhere. Then how can he get money to pay for food? Exactly, I exclaimed. Here I means Maya. He must have loads of money hidden somewhere. Maybe in that trunk in his room. It is probably full of silver and gold and jewels and what rubbish. Nishad interrupted. Rubbish here means what you are saying, what waste you are talking. Interrupted means disturbed. So here Maya is saying that okay, he is not working, then he may have lots of money in his room, maybe it is there in that trunk, he may be a criminal. I know I am right, stupid, I told him. By the way, 7, did you see his cars? I couldn't, it was too dark, but I bet he got them during a shootout with the police or something. Mummy told us quite clearly they were burnt cars, Nisha said firmly, strongly. So, Maya asked to Nishad, Nishad, did you see the scar marks on his face? I couldn't see because that was too dark. I couldn't see that one. So that may be some scars happened during a shootout with the police or something else. But 7, Nishad strongly said, no, Mummy told us quite clearly they were burnt scars. He said, Mummy told us they were burnt scars, that is during a fire accident. It burned during a fire accident. Perhaps the police had to set his house on fire to force him out, I suggested. 7 looked unsure. So then Maya said, maybe police set fire to his house. Set fire to his house to force him out. So in that time he may be burned. On the Monday following Mama's birthday, 7 went alone with her to the clinic. Gigon, as I was spending the evening with a school friend. So after following here means coming after. So next Monday after her mother's birthday, 7, the boy went to clinic with his mother. So the girl spent there with a school friend. When they returned, Nishad told me he had been to see Mr. Nada, and I felt most annoyed that I hadn't been there. 7 had been quite upset about Mr. Nada's gaunt appearance. Gaunt means sicky. Gaunt appearance, and was sure that he was starving. He told me that he had knocked loudly on Mr. Nada's door that evening and said, "Open the door quickly, Mr. Nada." The man had opened it and asked him, "Lost another marble?" He had obviously recognized my brother. "No," said Nishad. He had taken the man's hand in his own and thrust a bar of chocolate into it. "Did you get a chance to peek into the trunk, 7? I asked. Peek means look quickly and secretively. Nishad looked disappointed. "He didn't even ask me in," he said. "He didn't ask me to get inside." Then he smiled. "But I did find out something, Maya. I went down to the restaurant where Ramesh works and talks to him." "Good for you, Mr. Detective," I said, patting him on the back. Patting, that is beating on the simply to encourage, to appreciate. "I hope you questioned him properly." So Maya and Nisha, they both were having doubts about the man, so they want to discuss or question about or want to investigate about that man. 7 looked pleased. "Ramesh told me that he takes 2 meals for Mr. Nad every morning and evening, and 2 cups of tea, one in the one in the morning and one in the afternoon." So here 7 said, okay, Ramesh took 2 meals every day. One is in the morning and one is in the evening. And 2 cups of tea also. 1 cup of tea in the morning and one in the afternoon. So these are the meals that he is taking from the downstairs restaurant. So look here. 7 and Maya, they were investigating about the man who is living nearby. Ramesh says he is not very particular about what he eats. That means he doesn't have any special things to eat. It is always the same food: 2 chapatis, some dal and a vegetable. Mr. Nad pays cash and tips well. So he pays money, he pays cash and he also gives tips also. Ramesh told Ramesh told me something very strange, Maya. 7 added. Almost every Sunday, he carries two lunches to Mr. Nath's room, and the same man is with him each time. He's tall, fair, stout, and wears spectacles. Ramesh says his visitor talks a lot, unlike Mr. Nath, who hardly speaks. Stout means fatty, stout, fat. So seven added something. Ramesh told something interesting to them. What was that? Every Sunday, another person comes. That was a tall man, fair man, a fat man. He wears spectacle and always he talks a lot. Well done, Nishad, I told him. Now that we have made some progress with our inquiries, we will have to sort out all the facts like expert detectives so that we can trap the crook. Sort out, arrange systematically. Crook means criminal, informal criminal. So here they said, okay, we can find out the criminal. How you do go on, Maya? Seven sided. How can you possibly imagine he's a crook? He looks so ordinary. So seven is saying that one. No, how can you say he's a crook? He looks so ordinary. He's like a common man. How can you say he's a crook? He's a criminal. Criminals can look quite ordinary, smarty. I retorted. Retort means in a sharp reply in any argument. Sharp reply in an argument. Did you see the picture of the Hyderabadi housebreaker in the papers yesterday? He looked like any man on the street. Nishad looked doubtful. So she explained that one. Did you see yesterday a person, Hyderabadi housebreaker in the papers yesterday? A person break into house. His photo came in newspaper. So he's look like any man that we can see in the street. So Nishad got a doubt about that. The monsoons broke the next day. Dark clouds accompanied by blinding flashes of lightning and roaring rolls of thunder burst with all their fury. So it is a monsoon season. The rain, heavy rainfall is there, flooding the streets with a heavy downpour. Downpour means rainfall. School was to have reopened after the summer holidays, but no traffic could move through the flooded roads, and there was an unexpected holiday. I thought I would spend the time usefully. I sat at my desk in our bedroom with a sheet of paper before me. So next day the monsoon started. It was heavy rain was there, so they got an unexpected holiday because that day must be school reopened because of flood there. School didn't reopen. So let's check the second part. So she wrote she sitting near that desk. Okay, I wrote in large black letters, catching a crook, expert detectives, Nishad and Maya Pandit, by appointment to the whole world. By appointment to means officially chosen by someone important. Okay. Then I began to writing. About half an hour later, I turned towards Seven, who was lying on his tummy, chin cupped in his palms, reading comics. What wanted to hear what I have written? I asked. You can see in this picture the way how the boy Nishad 7 was laying. He's laying there, his chin is cupped in his palms. Kept in palms. Okay. So let's check what is there. He looked up questioningly. I have listed all the facts we know about Mr. Nath, which might help us to trap him. I said, want to hear? So I listed out so many facts. So that may, with the help of that, we can trap that crook. Seven nodded. So nodded means shake his head. Fact number one, I read. His name is Mr. Nath. We must discover his first name. Do you think that is his real name, Maya? Nishad asked. Probably not. I said. Most crooks have an alias. Alias means an alternate name. Alias. Alias means alias. You might have listened about Sagar, Elias, Jackie. So like that, alias means another name. Alias, alternative name. I added a big question mark after that. Fact number two, I read on. Sorry. The tenants at Shankar house say he's mad, strange, and mannerless. Tenant means rent people. Okay, but he did not talk to us. Maya and Mama says he's very polite. Nishad interrupted. So he's very polite person. His mother said he only talked to us because he had to. I said, and since he was under Mama's medical treatment, he had to be polite. So she said because he's polite to us, he's under the medical treatment of their mother. Fact number 4, he doesn't receive any letters. 7 nodded. Number 5, he has been living in room 10 of Shankar house for more than a year. I continued. Number 6, he doesn't work and sits in his room all day. Number 7, the kids in Shankar house and even some of the grown-ups are scared of him. Number 8, he has no visitors except for a spectacled fair fat man who visits him on Sundays for lunch. Number 9, food and tea are taken to his room by Ramesh from the restaurant downstairs. So here Maya has noted a lot of things. 9 things she had noted about Mr. Nath. He doesn't care what he eats, pays his bill immediately and tips well. That ends my list. Have I forgotten 97? So she had written a lot of things. So after that she asking to 7. Did I miss anything? Nishad had obviously not been paying too much attention to my list of facts. All he could say was, poor man Maya, he must be so lonely if he doesn't have any friends. How can a cook have friends, idiot? I almost shouted. So Maya shouted out to him because he asked, he may be poor man, he doesn't have friends and he may be so lonely. He may feel so lonely. At least he has one friend, the one who meets him on Sundays, said Nishad. Nishad said, at least he has one friend, the person who visits him on Sundays. A brilliant thought occurred to me just then. That man must be Mr. Nas' accomplice. Accomplice means a helper in crime. So, Nas' accomplice in crime. I said, maybe he keeps all the loot. Loot means the things that was robbed, that was taken from any other houses, and he comes now and then to give part of it to his partner. So he's coming now and then because he wanted to give some part of it to the partner, Mr. Nath, for expenses. That's it. Okay, that's it. I'm sure I'm right. So Maya said, so he may be coming to give some money for expenses, for spending. If you insist on calling him a criminal, I don't think I want to discuss anything with you, Maya, said Nishad angrily. He can't be such a bad man if he gives Ramesh such a general tips. Ramesh probably knows something about his past, so Mr. Nath must be bribing him to keep quiet, I said. Nishad glared at me with his arms tightly crossed across his chest. Glad looked at him. I was beginning to get fed up with him. How can we make any progress with our investigations if you take that attitude, 7? I asked. I will cooperate only if you give up this idea about him being an escaped crook, said 7. You really make me angry. I almost hit him. I make you angry. You stupid off. Off means idiot. I shouted. You make me mad. What is the point of all these enquiries if he has not a crook? So here they were discussing, or at the same way they are quarreling, because Nishad thinks he is a poor man, but Maya is continuously saying that man is a crook, that is a criminal, escaped from the jail. He may be escaped from the police. She wanted to prove it. But Nishad doesn't like it. Nishad says that he might be a poor man. He may be feeling so lonely. Nishad doesn't want to make him as the crooked man. So that's why he was angry with Maya. Okay, so what is the point of all these enquiries if he is not a crook? So if he is not a crook, why why we are inquiring like this? If you think he's a nobody, what is the idea of bothering about him? Please tell me. If you think he's nobody, then what is the idea? Please tell me that one. Nishad looked thoughtful. I would like to find out why he's so thin and why he's so lonely. I want to know why he doesn't have any friends and lives alone. So Nisha want to find out these whole things. Try to understand Seven. I told him if he's lived in Shankar house for a year and hasn't made a single friend, there is something wrong. He's obviously scared that someone will recognize him and give him up to the cops. So she's saying that one. Maybe tries to no one tried to make friends with him. Nishad protested. So if he cop means a police, remember that one. So she said that one. If anybody recognize him, they may catch him and give to the police. Maybe that's why he's not making friends with anybody. Then Nisha said, maybe no one tried to make friendship with him. Why should anyone bother? You have seen what a nasty bear he is. Nasty means dirty. I don't care, said Nishad stubbornly, firmly. I like him and I am going to try and be his friend. Friends with a crook? Ha! You are crazy, Seven, I said. The cops will take you to jail with him. Do you want that to happen, you idiot? Nishad merely glared at me and quietly walked out of the room. My theory seemed to have made no impression on him at all. So, okay, is here she tried to impress him with the theories that to make that man as a criminal. But what happened? The boy he protested everything and he says that he's not a criminal, he's a good man, but maybe nobody tried to make friends with him. So I hope you understood the story. If you have any doubts, you can ask it in the comment box. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.